Welcome to the exciting rebirth of Superstar, featuring choose your membership rate as low as just $3 a month. At Superstar, you get expanded, exclusive video scopes each and every week, unlimited access to special horoscopes, class passes for Synchronicity University, consultations with me, and so much more. All of this in the Superstar space. I look forward to meeting you there. Hello, fabulous superstar Aries. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of November 2022. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. It is a remarkable astrological month, without a doubt. Big moves happening in the sky now. And wow, is this a very special time for you? As we begin the month, know that two important celestial phenomenons are with us. So one is the fact that your ruling planet, Mars, recently went retrograde at the end of October, just in time for Halloween. And when a planet goes retrograde, its energies become more reflective. And there is something about your ruling planet, Mars, that speaks to self-knowledge, self-honesty, and acting from that place. Well, Mars retrograde might not have you acting as much, but it does encourage you to truly reach a greater depth of self-knowledge, but especially self-honesty. And especially over the course of this larger trend, that may end up being an important lesson as part of the larger Mars retrograde season for Aries out there. I'll be sure to link to my Mars retrograde special horoscope below. But just know that that is an important energy that we have with us right out of the gate as we begin the month. The other is, as we begin the month, we are in a period between eclipses. This is where the ancients believed that the veils between the worlds were especially thin. And what I found is it becomes easier to recognize where it is that you're engaged in a spiritual lesson. Where it is perhaps that there's what you want, but where it is that the universe might be leading you in sometimes dramatically different directions, sometimes slightly different directions, but where you're coming to understand that there could be a higher, more loving vision for your life, and you're understanding what it means to align with it. Okay, so now here we are. We have got you beginning the month, and then we get to the 8th of the month, and we have the end of the eclipse season with a very powerful lunar eclipse. This lunar eclipse is hand in hand with Uranus. Uranus has been a very important energy throughout this year, really, as part of important interactions, particularly where it comes to eclipses, particularly where it comes to the North Node, for example, as was the case at the end of July and beginning of August. And so now here we are, we've got this especially dramatic lunar eclipse, and lunar eclipses always suggest closure. Particularly powerful and relevant closures become possible when it is that we have a lunar eclipse. However, with Uranus hand in hand, right there with this eclipse, chances are there's the unexpected, there's the surprise, for some the shock, for some the drama as well. But that can be part of what ultimately allows us to free our energy that much more. Now for you, this lunar eclipse is happening in a part of the sky that has to do with money you earn, money you spend, self-esteem, and self-worth. Now, I know for a lot of people out there, a lot of Aries out there, you don't want to hear dramatic changes where it comes to how you earn money or how you spend money. Of course, I can understand that. A lot of us want to move towards greater stability where it comes to understanding prosperity and aligning with it. What I can say is this is an opportunity for you to truly understand what it is to align your finances with some sense of being true to yourself. And where it is that you've gone off path from that, the universe might bring you back to that path dramatically. But if it is that the adjustment is rather slight, well, that could play out here as well. The thing to remember is when we have such strong financial energy, it means that the money you need is there. Sometimes you got to do a little bit more. Sometimes you got to hustle a little bit more to make it happen. But that reveals itself as part of your growth and your journey at this time as well. For some Aries, this could be returning to really bold ideas that you might have had in the past, and now seeing them differently. Now realizing how perhaps you are ready to bring some of those more daring ideas forward towards your greater prosperity. And for others still, this could be one of those moments that ends up being a lot more personal, not as literal where it comes to financial matters, but it helps you to understand where you are in terms of self-love and self-esteem differently than you have before. And as you find that depth of understanding, you are able to break free from the limitations and the doubts of the past. And that, in and of itself, absolutely aligns you with a vision for your life that is infused with greater love and greater wisdom than you knew before. On November 23rd, we are going to have a new moon. And boy, is this a very special new moon. It is happening in fellow fire sign Sagittarius, a part of the sky that has to do with the world opening up to you, whether that's personal or metaphorical or very literal. This is a new beginning that seems to bring together heart and mind. And the reason I say that is because Mercury, having to do with mind, and Venus, having to do with heart, are close in the sky to this new moon as well. But what I think is especially intriguing is that we get that new moon and it perfects to the minute. And then 5 minutes later, to the minute, Jupiter, the ruling planet of Sagittarius, goes direct. So this is hugely symbolic. On the one hand, it is a sense of all things having to do with this area of life, finally getting a fresh chapter, finally getting a sense of fresh energy and new beginnings. But it can also be related to different areas of life as well. On the one hand, there is that new moon bringing new prospects to know more of the world around you. With Jupiter going direct in the sign just before yours, there's a part of you that at this time feels deeply connected to miracles and deeply connected to faith as well. Whatever may be happening, where it comes to faith, where it comes to understanding karmic pathways, karmic closures, and where it comes to understanding all that there is yet to do for you in this lifetime, understand that this is an important moment as part of the larger transit of Jupiter in the sign just before yours. And in one way or another, you've been engaging this energy since the middle of 2021. So here we are, we get a peak moment. And as we navigate towards the end of the year, that is when Jupiter will return to your sign. So this is an important moment of karmic closure, but also that fills you with faith. And a part of that faith may be related to your understanding of your relationship to the world in a more expansive way than you understood it before. This part of the sky that we have the new moon in speaks to long distance travel, immigration, citizenship, higher learning. Legal matters are covered here, along with the spiritual, philosophical, and political beliefs that guide your life. Political engagement can be covered in this part of the sky as well for you. And so you may be having fresh insights, but chances are there are also brand new, real opportunities presenting themselves to you. You are so connected to Source at this time that you feel very clear that these opportunities are showing up right now in perfect time, that their time has come. Now, where it comes to matters of love, we have got Venus, goddess of love, moving through a part of the sky for you that has to do with how it is that bonding with other people can lend themselves to catalyst moments in our life. It has to do with finding a depth of honesty and connection with another person and being honest with yourself about how it is that you really feel and why you feel what you do. And in the context of love, this can suggest some very powerful moments, whether it is in brand new interactions or whether this has to do with established bonds. So for those of you open to meeting someone new, the sense of you being pulled by fate, you want a connection that you can feel within. This is not about being okay with anything superficial. If the vibes aren't there, that just isn't going to work for you. And if you're already oriented that way, this is where that awareness that the vibes got to be right magnifies for you that much more. And I do think it's very possible that you do end up connecting with somebody that, whether or not there is long-term potential there, at least for the moment and for the connection or interaction, it does feel like a significant moment for you. For those of you just starting to date somebody, what a remarkable time this can be. In the context of dating, this is where you're getting very honest with yourself about how you really feel about this person and whether or not you truly believe there's anything moving forward from here with them as well. You're looking at your own fear, your own doubt. It could also be now that you're looking at perhaps there's some exploration of the taboo here, what you didn't want to accept before or look at before, and now you're feeling ready and strong to face it as we move through those first weeks of this month. For all that though, this is a turning point kind of energy. That depth of honesty within yourself is going to allow you to accept what it is that this person is actually showing you. And from there, you get to decide whether or not this is someone to navigate forward with. I do think for the Aries out there, this energy is likely to be very all or nothing. Either it is that you see things in this person that help you to bond that much more deeply to each other, or you see things in this person that make you realize that it really is okay to bring things to a close and go in a different direction. And for those of you in an established bond, what a remarkable time this can be as well. In established bonds, some of this energy of Venus might play out in terms of your partner's income. So there might be a boost where it comes to that regard, because Venus does tend to suggest blessings. But this can also be a sense of real vulnerability and a depth of sharing between the two of you. For the overwhelming majority of Aries out there, you're going to find this a time of intimacy and respect and commitment growing stronger. However, for a small percentage of Aries out there, if it is that you know that you're not in the right relationship for you, all of that tendency is going to stir very strongly in the first weeks of this month. What I love about this month for you, wow, there's so much here. It's a powerful astrological moment. I am going to say that I love the fact that we do have eclipse season coming to an end. I gotta say it's a very dramatic eclipse, which isn't always the easiest energy. And yet this promises change. It promises progress. It promises your understanding of prosperity goes through a very quick evolution. And your understanding of what it means to honor a higher calling and align your finances with that might go through a change as well. Ultimately, this is energy aligning you with greater prosperity and abundance than you knew before, as you uniquely define it. Well, thank you so much for watching. You can get a video like this each and every week for each and every sign for as low as just $3 a month with Choose Your Membership rate at NadiyaShahSuperstars.com. Now, higher tiers get you things like all access passes to Synchronicity University events, consultations with me, and so much more. All of this in the superstar space at NadiyaShahSuperstars.com. I look forward to meeting you there, and link is in the description below. Thank you again for watching. It'll be a great month. Enjoy.